Alright, what's up everyone? So today is July 26th, it's Wednesday. I actually just finished a horseback ride with my parents. It wasn't too eventful, so I was kind of a little disappointed about that. But it's always fun, I guess, when you get to go on a horse. And it was nice and relaxing, it was a cool environment. So I guess it wasn't too bad, but it was a little short, so wish it was longer, wish I was able to go a little bit faster on the horse. So right now we are in a ranch at U-Cross. So we spent the night here, and then now we're getting ready to get our bags ready and then go to our next location, which is crossing the border out of Wyoming and into South Dakota, which will be our last state that we will be going into. So we're going to spend one day in, I think, Lead, South Dakota, and then we're going to go to Cluster State Park for 2 days, and then we leave, go back to New York. So Yellowstone wasn't really eventful. After we did some of the tours where we saw the geysers, we saw some hot springs and everything that you guys saw earlier. So I did, like you saw, I tried to do a workout. It wasn't the greatest workout, but it was something. I was still able to get a good pump. It was just a little distracting. My dad was trying to sleep because it was a little bit later at night. My mom came in, was like walking in front of the camera. So I tried to show some footage of just how you can stay active. And in my situation, since I do a higher intensity workout with weights, how I was able to manage getting a workout in with what I had. That being spending 2 nights in the Yellowstone Lodge, how they had no fitness center and everything was really just hiking. So, I just wanted to show how I was able to use the resistant bands, and I hope you guys somewhat got an idea how I was able to manage getting still a decent workout in and kind of keeping my shoulders activated until I can get home and get my real workouts in again. So, otherwise, again, today is going to be another day full. So yesterday, when we went from Yellowstone to this ranch, we went about an hour and a half drive to Cody, Wyoming, where we went to a Buffalo Bill museum. It was 5 different museums in one building. So it had 5 different areas. You had the Western Indians, you had more of like a natural habitat about the life and the animals in the area, to the guns, to the artwork, and then about the guy who was known as Buffalo Bill and how his impact was on this area. So museums really aren't my thing, to be honest. So I was interested the first 10 minutes, and then when things started to get a little bit repetitive with the backdrops or the backgrounds of some of the paint and some of the guns got repetitive, you get a little bit bored. But that's just my personal thing with museums. I'm not necessarily interested in that type of stuff, but I'm always interested in learning new things. So it was more a self-guided tour too, so I didn't really learn more stuff. I was just kind of looking and reading the little blurbs that they had. So after that, we went to a we went straight to here, but that was a 3-hour drive. So yesterday wasn't really too much stuff, so that's why I didn't really do much videoing and everything. So that's why I'm talking about it now. And then, but hopefully, we're getting closer to the last part of the trip, and which is my most favorite part that I've been looking forward to besides Yellowstone and the Grand Canyon, is Cluster State Park is home to Mt Rushmore. So I'm super excited to go see that. That's definitely the prime example of ending the trip on a bang type situation where, saving the best for last. So I'm super excited about that. Today is, I think, a little bit more driving, and then we'll go to this town. Possible gym spot that I found. We will have a lot of free time at night. We are doing like a little cookout dinner. So, but the time between we arriving and that cookout dinner is pretty high. So if I could find a fitness center nearby, which is what I think I found, it's gonna be awesome. But if not, we're gonna use the resistance bands again to hold me off, and then we'll work from there. And hopefully the 2 days won't do too much, and I can get home and then get back to my normal routine and finish the summer off. So I will see you guys at the next location and new state. All right, so I'm actually about to board my coach to start the driving to South Dakota. I did forget to mention, though, I talked about the lodge. I didn't really explain what, how I felt being here. Yes, it was very quiet and everything, but that was kind of what I needed. It was just nice and peaceful. There was no TV. Yes, there was Wi-Fi, but that helped because when I was quote-unquote bored, I was able to get my YouTube videos edited and get some editing done for the next video that I'm going to post, which this one's actually going to be a part of. So I really liked that. It was just nice and relaxing. By the time we were done with dinner, it was already dark out and everything, but should have already watched it, but that was the view of what the ranch looked like. So it was pretty cool. Nothing too crazy, but it was just nice, peaceful, away from everything. Of course, I would have been okay with having a fitness center, but you can't have everything. So it was nice to get the day off. Well, actually, this would be my second day off now, just to relax and enjoy. So I will see you guys now at the new location. All right, how sick is this? So this is known as the Devil's Tower. It's actually like a Native American sanctuary. You can take a look from above me, but they said all these little rocks that you see over here, you can climb up. So I'm gonna climb it. So we made it pretty far already. Try to see how much farther I can go in the time I have. So we'll see how far I can go. If not, enjoy this little look from below of what Devil's Tower looks like. Alright everyone, so like I promised, this is the view from below. Unfortunately did not make it to quote unquote the top. I kind of stopped a little bit before the sign I saw that said this is basically where you stop, permit required only, and that's basically where the professional climbers would go to actually climb up to the very, very top, which you saw me just move up right there. So thankfully my mom caught the clip of me descending down from it. So I had a little bit of fun with that. Still pretty disappointed that I didn't know about this beforehand, or I would have brought my GoPro to attach to myself so I can show the whole climb up and the whole climb down. But hopefully this is a good view. I am wearing a black tank, so if it was a little hard to find me, you can rewind and then play it again to try to find me. But otherwise, it took me about let's say it's about 6 to 7 minutes to actually climb up with a steady pace on top of all the rocks to the top, and then all the way back down was about the same time. So after this, there's a cool little loop around the whole entire center. So we went about halfway there because by the time I was done climbing, we didn't really have much time left. So we made it about to this little overhang. You can kind of see the other direction, and then if you look completely 180, you see the Devil's Tower in front of you. So we made it to about there, and then we had to walk back to the visitor center to meet our coach. So enjoy the rest of this clip. All right, what's up, everyone? So it's pretty late. I'm getting ready to go to bed at my final destination and final lodge that we will be staying at. So we are currently at the Custer State Park Game Lounge. So we're gonna be here for the next tonight, and then the next night, and then we leave to spend the day flying back home. But I just wanted to go over what we've been doing the last couple days. So after we left that ranch at Ucross, we, as you saw, we went to Devil's Tower, I think it was called. I already forgot. That's pretty bad that I forgot already. And we had some fun climbing that. Unfortunately, I wish they told me that we were actually going to climb rocks like that, to that extent, and I would have stuck my GoPro on my head, and I would have made some cool video climbing it. So fortunately, when I got about halfway, 3/4 of the way, I saw my parents calling out to me, and that's when I started. They were able to record, which is what you saw of me descending down from it. But I did make it virtually to the top, and the top is basically the point where you need a permit to continue climbing, which is basically where the more experienced people went and finished. So after that, we got settled into our lodge, which was at the Spearfish Canyon Lodge. Unfortunately, when I was there, which is why I didn't get much videos, we were pretty busy. Basically, I was lacking clothing, so my first obligation was to find a laundry room, and thankfully I did. So I was able to, I just needed to get the quarters and everything that I needed to get that situated so I could clean my clothes for the last 3 days, because I was in desperate need of clean ones. So thankfully that got situated, and then with that as well, after that happened, I had a huge hour-and-a-half gap, and I decided to do a workout. So not going to show you the full footage, but I'm going to show you a little bit of what I did, in my arm workout. So I was very grateful, because arms is probably the one body part that I could do absolutely closest to my actual workout at home with the bands. So the clip that's popping up right now is a modification that I was able to make that I found, kind of on the spot, but it kind of was a huge modification that I was able to do for my tricep pushdowns that I like to do with the cables. So I hung the bands on my bathroom door and kind of rigged it so that it didn't move, and I was able to do that same movement that I would do with the cables typically at my own gym at home. So this was huge. I was super ecstatic about this. I actually did a bunch of sets extra than the 4 I should do, just because I wanted to make sure I got that pump and I got that tricep activation that I wanted, both at the hold and the squeeze. The squeeze and the stretching of the muscle as well. So that really made me happy. And then also, a modification that I did was, which is going to pop up right now, is my hammer curls that I like to do. So when I work out on my own, I typically like to do a normal full set, which is the four sets of it, of standing kind of like corkscrew curls, where you're kind of twisting motion into the curl, and then I do a complete different set of hammer curls. So hammer curls is a little bit difficult for those of you that know, when using resistant bands, because it's just a way that you can't hold the bands that way. But thankfully with my bands, I had a movable grip, so I was able to actually move the grip from that normal position to a more hammer curl style position. So that was super good to have, and it really completed my workout. I was able to get an absolutely awesome pump. And I know I've been saying that, but like, this is probably one of the best ones that I've gone with the bands out of the two, because I knew what I was going into. I had an exact routine to hit, and there really wasn't much extra that I didn't know going into it. I used my chair to do incline dips, and then everything else was used with the bands when it comes to triceps. So absolutely loved it. Unfortunately, so right now I did say I'm getting ready to go to bed after this. Unfortunately, I was not able to get another workout in, as chest and back are a little too difficult to do with the bands, and I'm also really tired from a long day. So I'm just going to take advantage of these 3 days that we have, of resting, so that I'm fully healthy, fully recovered. My body's completely ready to start grinding the last part of the summer that I'm home before school. So, all right, so now we're caught up to today. And so today we woke up pretty early and went to the Spearfish Cannon Lodge. We left that really early, and there really wasn't much to do. Well, there was stuff to do, but just with the time period that we were there, and the time period it takes to rent out certain equipment like ATVs, or request to do hikes, which are a little bit longer distance, we didn't really have enough time there, unfortunately. That would have been cool to try out, because the scenery was really cool. There was a lot more peaceful than usual, a lot more secluded from town. But once we left there, we went to a town called Deadwood, which was about, if I had to guess, or remember, it was like 20 minutes away from where we were. So this town is actually very famous for more of that wild, wild west type stuff. Saloons, a little bit of casinos and gambling. It's actually very famous for what you're watching right now, kind of a little tour of the town. For Kevin Costner, he owns a lot of land over there, and he really liked the town. I think it was used for a couple of the sets as well. It's kind of a very older style town where we kind of walked down the strip of Main Street. It's pretty cool. It was just very, very old. A lot of the places were still, they said the 1800s on there, and a lot of the saloons and certain locations. A huge thing was a very famous guy died, and then they kind of like really, really over the top kind of showed like where he got shot, where he ended up dying, where the assassin got captured, where he was found, and like stuff like that. So you had like signs everywhere kind of like updating you on like the whole entire assassination of this guy. So otherwise we kind of strolled through the strip a little bit, got a little bit of brief history about it. Deadwood was also known as the town where the famous gold rush kind of started. This was like one of the first towns that they found gold in, where a lot of people all over the country fled to start finding gold and mining it and getting the money that it was known to find. So after this, we went to, we finally made it back to our lodge. So now our lodge is on Cluster State Park, which I said earlier. We basically got settled into our room, kind of got things situated. I got another roll-out bed. I don't know if I've actually talked about this. I've gotten a roll-out bed every time since the rooms are made for 2 people. So each one of my parents get one bed, and then I actually got which we requested for a rollout bed. Each time the rollout bed gets worse and worse, and it does affect my sleep, which is a big reason why I sleep so heavily on the bus. But otherwise, after getting situated, we had about an hour to relax, kind of look at the gift shop, look at the area, and then we went on this buffalo tour. So I don't know if I'm saying that right. So you're gonna start watching the clip for that right now. But basically, we took this like little extended jeep through the park, and we found the area where all the buffalo and the bison are located, and we basically kind of like went in and out of their terrain that they like to rest, and it's kind of more of their natural habitat where they're the biggest predator, and for the most part they really only eat grass. So everything's so calm for them, and it's kind of like we were just kind of like zooming in and out of like herds of bison, and they were kind of running in front of our tours and everything. So that was really cool. It was a really different experience from what I've ever been through, so I really enjoyed it a lot. It was definitely a lot better than I expected. And then once that was capped off, we went to a little cookout, which was the last destination on that little trail, well, more drive for us. So that was actually cool. We had some steaks, some burgers, and like kind of like that whole barbecue style thing with some country music. I'll be completely honest, I'm not a huge country music fan, but I'm never gonna let a moment get ruined by something that I may not enjoy. But just being around cool people and having a good time that way. So I definitely had a great time. Besides the fact that it torrential downpoured. About like 15 minutes into us sitting down getting the food and eating and listening to music. So thankfully they had a overhang section which was already prepared for us just in case the weather did act the way it was scheduled to. So that was cool. None of us actually got wet. We kind of ran inside before it actually like torrential downpoured. And when I mean like rain, I mean like, have you ever heard in the equator when they have rainy season, it rains like badly for like 10 minutes? This was how bad it was raining, but like 25 minutes, and then eventually stopped. So absolutely cool, just like taking this little drive through the park. It's just so big, and just everything's so nice and peaceful. All these animals are not, touched by anything. They're all protected, and they're kind of just living in their natural habitat. So, which is what I really like, because I still got a great sighting of bison, deer. We saw these little prairie dogs, which I'll actually pop up a video right now of it from one of our drives. So they're considered rodents, but I think they're adorable. They kind of just stand on their toes, and they're really small, and they make these little holes in the ground, and that's basically how they live. They make these little tunnels underground, but they're really absolutely cute. So actually really funny. We weren't supposed to get close to them at all. We weren't supposed to affect anything to do with their habitat, which means get close to holes, maybe cover the holes or any of that stuff. But the video you're watching right now is one of the youngest kids on our trip. He actually walked near a prairie dog hole, and the prairie dog wasn't scared at all. If you're watching, as you just saw, he actually literally had the prairie dog go up to his toe, touch his toe, and then run away. So that's really weird. Our tour guide and the people who were from the area didn't expect that to happen at all. So I was pretty cool, and I was very glad I got that on clip. So that was pretty cool. But it's just very different because, like, for me, at least in New York, a lot of these animals that you see are in zoos, which are in cages, which are not their natural habitats. So it's really cool to just kind of see the bison roam around with their what are they called? What are the babies called? Not cubs, but you know what I'm talking about. But kind of just like roaming around, eating the grass, minding their own business, and this is what they're okay with. It's not something that we force them to have. So I really like that, and that definitely made the tour a lot better. Other than that, cookout basically ended. We took a different route back to our room, and then now that's where I am right now. So game plan is I'm going to go to sleep a little earlier than usual, especially since I'm not going to get that workout in. So I am going to then wake up early tomorrow. I will decide what I'm doing. I might do a little bit of editing of what I'm recording right now. But the game plan for tomorrow is to go to the Crazy Horse Memorial, and then my favorite part of what was in the itinerary for this trip, which is Mount Rushmore. So I might not do any talking at all. I might just show you the clips. So if that's the case, enjoy. But if I do a little bit talking, I'll probably commentate during the clips on what we saw. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you guys are enjoying the clips again. Alright, what's up everyone? So welcome to the final vlog. So today we got a little bit of more of a departure day. So I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the footage from yesterday, where we went to Mt Rushmore and the Crazy Horse Memorial, and then I'll update you guys on what we're doing today. Alright, what's up everyone? So as you guys know, it is departure day, so I am getting ready to board my plane. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching the video so far. If you haven't, please take a couple minutes out of your day, just watch parts of them here and there. I really do appreciate it. This will be my last video. I did plan on taking this before video of me talking with Al Fleischer, this portion and the portion after this, to be a new video. But just with everything going on, I thought I'd be able to push more content out when I was in the airport. But I was just running from terminal to terminal. Had to go to the bathroom, get food, and I wasn't able to provide some content. So, yeah. But quickly, this was our little tunnel. We decided to take a different route to Mount Rushmore. When I mean different, I mean this was probably not the safest or easiest journey to travel to Mount Rushmore with a 12-foot bus. There was 3 different tunnels. One of those you guys just saw. That was actually scraping the top of our bus, and we barely made it through. So it was really cool. It's really interesting how we were able to make it through that. So hope you guys are enjoying the rest of the content we got here. We started at Mount Rushmore. We did actually beat the rush, so this video was actually at the end of my workout. And you can tell by the crowds how busy it was. So we're very grateful that we beat the rush with that. And yeah, but next thing that we did was the Crazy Horse Memorial, which you're looking at right now. This is supposed to be, if you can see a little bit, I'm going to zoom in a couple seconds. The head portion of this memorial is actually the size of Mount Rushmore. That's not including the horse that they're projecting to build, the hand. So here, look, you can see the face a little bit. That's the size of Mount Rushmore alone. This project is expected to take 20 more years before it's finally done, which you'll see what the projected memorial figure is supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like Crazy Horse pointing in the distance on a horse with this long hair flowing backwards. Where he's pointing is at his land that his people and his Indian tribe, well, actually Native Americans is what they're formerly supposed to be called, not Indians. This land was. So, absolutely awesome. I personally don't think they're going to be done by 2024 is what they said they would do, but hey, I'm excited to come back and see the full thing when it's done. I'm sure the Native Americans are going to be very proud of how it comes out. And it's supposed to be a family-ran and operated creation. So they're trying to keep it that way. The father started, and now the kids are finishing the job. So we'll see. But that is what it's supposed to look like when it's finished. Here's a little sneak peek of it they kind of showed us. But the day before our celebration dinner, which is our last dinner, we had lunch on our own, and I was finally able to get my elk burger. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed that footage. Pretty light day yesterday. We went to those 2 places, and then we had our celebration dinner, which was the final dinner with the group. So today, it's, we're waiting for our shuttle to come. We're finishing checking out, getting our bags ready, and we are going to take a shuttle to the nearest airport, which is Rapid City, South Dakota. So that's about a 40-minute drive, and then we spend basically the whole day basically in an airport or flying. So we're going to take our first flight from Rapid City to Dallas, and then we're going to have about an hour layover, depending on if the forecast is correct. We might have some delays due to thunderstorms in the areas that we're flying over, so we'll see from there. But if everything goes well, there'll be an hour layover, and then we'll go from Dallas back to New York, and we're going to be arriving in LaGuardia pretty late. So between getting our bags, getting our limo that my family rented out to drive us back home, we should be home about 11:30 at night. So basically, I'll be gassed, and I'll probably be on asleep by then. So, but otherwise, this trip has been absolutely awesome. Such a different experience from what I've been used to. So I'm gonna finish everything I got to take care of, and we'll see where I talk to you guys next.